Everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if this is your third Rookie Season 4 episode review. I apologize for the delay. I had to finish Heels Up properly. It was the season finale. There's a pretty good chance it might not come back. So I'm like, you know what, let's do it live, let's do it right. And yeah, this week with the Rookie, I feel like out of the two, Heels was definitely the right choice for me to watch live and get it out the next day. The Rookie felt more like I could wait another day for it. I could. And it's the same old fun with the Rookie as always. And for this week specifically, it's setting up some. This is definitely one of those like weird episodes, at least for me, for the show, because the show never really purposely does these. Well, okay, I lie because they technically did it, but like they're purposely really setting up for like there's going to be longer things. And they've set up stuff before, you know, with the killer from season 2. I forgot her name already. Rosalind, I think that was Rosalind. Yeah, with setting all the stuff up with everything that happened in the end game for that season, setting up just very slow returns, that sort of thing. They've set some things up before, but this episode definitely like pounded in our head, like, pay attention, these characters and these plot lines are going to come back at some point. And as much as I don't mind that, I feel like I've watched a lot of TV shows that have done that. I don't know, like the Rookie, it felt a little off place a little bit. It wasn't too much on the nose, but at the same time, like, yeah, I get it. Like, I will, for me, because I'm a mega fan, like, of course I'm gonna like remember, like, okay, this crucial point is gonna, you know, come back to play. And yeah, they have at times before set stuff up that would come back eventually. But even in my head, like, oh, maybe this will be like a next season type of thing, or, you know, maybe down the line. But like, this definitely feels like, yeah, expect a resolution to these questions at some point this season. But regardless of that, I still think this was another delightful episode of The Rookie, continuing the characters, resuming storylines from previous seasons, and keeping the fresh ones going for another one. And also, by the way, I'll get more into this again. Brandon J. McClare. I'm butchering his name again. I apologize. You're killing it, man. You're killing it. I respect that for you. Anyway, let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So it's a night shift. We begin there. Chen and Nolan, their first night shift as P2s, and they immediately respond to a house fire. They hear someone inside the house, so they decide to barge in since fire department is going to take about 2 minutes to get there. So they get in there. They find a guy in there. Of course, obviously, he's just, you know, worried, panicked, that sort of thing, and, you know, he's not in the right place of mind. So they pull him out of it, and then Nolan's new firefighter girlfriend, which, honestly, it's kind of weird how many times like firefighters and police officers have like connected on this show. Is that weird? It could be it. Maybe I'm thinking too much of it because I know Grey's Anatomy has a firefighters spin-off on the air, so like it's kind of weird. Like firefighters is the next natural profession to get a spin-off or a show, which I don't think they will for The Rookie. I don't think they will do that because I just don't think they will. I don't need to explain more than that. So Nolan's girlfriend chews him out for going into a fire without any proper protection, and then telling her, like, eventually over time you're gonna die of this thing, and you're gonna get your lungs are gonna get so blacked up that, you know, you're gonna wish you had new lungs. Basically, very stern, but not like over, you know, killing it, because of course, obviously, she's in a relationship with him, so she can't fully lecture him, and that all does make sense. It really does. And even Chen asks, "Are you guys okay?" And like Nolan said, "Oh, never better." And it's like, I'm curious to see what they do in the bedroom then, you know, when they're on the street together. Which, that answer pretty much is followed up the next day as Nolan and her spend the night, and Nolan smells like ash for some reason. Which, I will say this, because I had a barbecue recently with my folks, and I was not 100% the cook, but I did help out a little bit on that one, and believe me or not, it took me like 2 showers before the smell of barbecue got off me. 2 freaking showers. It was one before we ate and then one after we ate, and I still smell it. I had to literally throw out all my clothes that even had some sort of relation to the smoke, and then I started to feel a little better, but then my downstairs station was like, it just reeked of barbecue, which isn't a bad thing, but eventually the smell of smoke kind of like phases you out for a little bit, eventually over time. So they both decide to kind of like follow up on the fire, since apparently they discovered a body there, and so they decide to follow back up. So them in civic gear heads back up to the house. Which is the coroner is taking out the body for the morgue, and one of the firefighter chiefs kind of lets them know, like, yeah, we assumed this was like all done pre-murder, and whoever they did find, the guy that Chen and Nolan saved earlier, probably knows something, so they're heading out to go to interview him and see what's up. Maybe this is a murder, maybe this is an accidental thing, we don't know. They got to figure that out right now. But that's on hold for now, as we're in the locker room for some reason, which we never really get that much. I think I'm pretty sure we've seen the locker room before, but it's new to me, at least for the men's side of things. Nolan's asking the new rookie how he's doing with Harper's training. And he's getting there. He feels like he's getting a little bit of ground with Harper, but Nolan just gives him a fair piece of advice that she's gonna train you pretty well, but there's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve there. That is to be admitted there. Meanwhile, Gray is talking to Bradford about all of his new responsibilities and his new workload, and the fact that it's going to be a little bit too much for old Bradford to take on by himself. So Gray tells him that he does have a choice to assign an officer on duty to kind of be his personal aide, or as classic Bradford would call it, his gopher. Which I'm just like thinking, gopher. Okay, that works. It works in the context of the show. You had boots, and now you have gophers. Okay, I'm down with that. And Gray even smells like, just take Chen. You two had a very great relationship when you and her were just Tio and Boots, so maybe just use that as an excuse to kind of pick up that relationship back up again. No one overhears, and no one tells Chen, and Chen only is excited about this in the prospect of her working next to a sergeant and doing the workload. It kind of means she's the sergeant, but adjunct to him. So this is great for her. If she gets this role, she could start using it to kind of talk herself around. Because and also I completely forgot. Didn't she want to be an undercover agent? Did we just forget about that thing? She said she spent the scene she wants to have something to keep going now that she's a P2. But wasn't the undercover shtick really something she really wanted to do? I mean, it's not like she had a negative experience with it per se. She's had a couple of close calls, but she was still frankly fine at the end of it. Anyway, so moving onwards, the meeting happens, and it's the same old thing. Also I forgot. The new rookie Aaron is I finally remember the name. One episode in, I'm just gonna call him Aaron, not his last name, because his last name is complicated for me to remember at this point. He and Harper developing their relationship. It's still the cliche I really don't like you, but I'm going to prove that I don't like you, but secretly I kind of respect you a little. So that sort of dynamic. Bradford and Gray come in, give the morning run, specifically giving Nolan and Chen permission to follow up on the victim they saved from last night's fire, and as well as to give the good news that this random cop that we never seen before is going to be Bradford's gopher, because Bradford never hands Chen out anything in life because of just miscommunication, as always with the show between them. So they head out. Chen is a little bit disappointed that she didn't get it, and obviously, of course, you think oh, maybe she's jealous, and she's just thinking no, it's always about the work thing. This is a pure career strategy advancement here, and it's being ruined because for whatever reason. So they follow up with the victim. He's a bit crazy. Let's say he's a bit crazy. I'll just say that much, and. He said that before he was stuck in the fire, he heard voices in his head. I just think to myself, voices in the head? This guy's clearly on drugs, first of all. But second of all, it's not that simple. It doesn't sound that simple, per se. Also, I forgot to mention, Diaz and Wesley. I can't say Wes anymore. I miss him too much. They're enjoying Lopez is enjoying the last days of her sabbatical, and she's debating on extending it because she's really enjoying the time to catch up on her backlog of stuff to do, and she kind of likes the peace and comfort. Wesley stupidly said, "Yeah, you should. Why just a couple more weeks? Stay in the bed. Take care of the kid." But immediately Lopez turns it around on him and is like, "Oh, you want me to be a stay-at-home mom? You just want me to be home and just take care of our child while you provide the bread and butter in your freaking rinky-dink strip mall office." But that's besides the point. Diaz just needs to get out. Lopez needs to get out in the world and experience life again that isn't cradling a small baby in her arms 24/7. So they just had to make that night date night and just kind of like pawn off their son on like one of their mothers or just a random teenager on the street. Their words, not mine. But Bradford gets a call. Not Bradford. Oh my god, I'm jumping all over the place. Wesley gets a call from his office saying that this person is here. This very high value client is here. And I forgot for a second, who is this high value client? I forgot. Did we set something up already? And we did. It was in the premiere. It was like the one thing I only made one comment on and then passed by for. No, it's the criminal douchebag known as Brandon J. McLaren's character. And I forgot his name. I think it's Eric or something. I don't think that's the name now that I'm thinking about it. But he's here. He's back. He's going to be a recurring threat as he intends to finally, make do on Bradford's promise to, hey, you owe me so much. You really owe me so much. So it's time to begin to collect debt. You're basically my employee, right? You're my personal lawyer. Bradford at this moment tries to kind of back off on it and said, like, okay, I'll do it under selective cases, but he's not really falling for it. He's not like accepting. It's like, nope. That's not the attitude I want to have. So next time I do come around, I expect an attitude change. So keep that noted there. I want to say we head into so there's a scene where Harper is like kind of lecturing Aaron about like the responsibility of like being active and being like straight-minded, like one on the job, as Aaron was on a private phone call and they supposedly passed by this guy who was concealing a weapon, and then also they failed to respond to the codes from the dispatch about just making sure they were still in active duty, and it was just a lot. Thankfully, Aaron gets a pass on this for some reason, but accepting a private phone call from TMZ and also $100,000. Nah, I wouldn't do it because the problem with $100,000 would just barely pay back my loans. Did I just admit that on camera? I probably did, but yeah, there you go. I'm willing to admit stuff. I'm willing to admit, but that doesn't seem like a lot in context. But Aaron's got to learn how to like you just focus on the task at hand and make sure he doesn't like slip up at some point during his on the job. I want to say they all visit the morgue next. I know Bradford and his new gopher supposedly having a very solid relationship. Like no problems, no drama, no like cause for concern. Just like two bros just like sitting in a freaking car and just like driving around, seeing what LA has to offer for them. I believe this is the scene. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was a scene earlier when Harper and Aaron were loading up their car for the day ahead, and the good looking guy that was interested in Harper comes up to her for aid to kind of see if she can refute the ticket a little bit, even though he should be more responsible in driving and he should be doing that, but he also wants to know like when is our next date, like when are we gonna go back out again, and Harper's like, yeah, soon, very soon, don't worry about it. But we gotta remember that. Remember this fact in a bit. I want to say they both visited the morgue next. This was just a lesson for Aaron to know that the morgue is a very smelly place. You gotta build accustomed to it over time, which it's gonna take a while for him to do on their case. Oh no, wait, we're not in that scene yet. They eventually do all regroup at a coffee shop, at a coffee truck, just to catch up, see what's going on with each other's cases. And Chen, the more important part is Chen is asking the gopher if like how's he doing, like any hints, with you want any tips to deal with Bradford, anything you want to know, I'm there to like help you out a little bit. And the other just catching up, like comparing notes, and then all of a sudden this car starts driving through the street of the street vendors. And it turns out to be a security detail that was supposed to protect someone, but their client has been shot to death by a sniper nearby. So they head around. They eventually do spot the sniper from leaving a building, but they manage to corner him in the building. But however, by the time they reach a certain level, the guy already attached like a zip line, like a one of those zip line things, and traverses himself to another building and escapes, thus making his getaway. What else did we go to? Did we go to the morgue next? I want to say we go to the morgue next. So like I said before, the whole Vaseline trick and whatever. So with the gunshot victim, on that front, yeah, this was a very professional sniper. This was a very planned out job, and this was not something that an ordinary sniper with ordinary weaponry could be able to do. So now they know, like, whoever they're doing is a person with a very special set of skills. Hopefully, it's not Liam Neeson. Nolan and Chen come in to kind of like get some more information on the dead body that the fire department found earlier in the day, and the only key details to note is that this guy had a lot of internal bone injuries before his death, so he was already basically injured and possibly already dead by the time the fire started. So there's way more to this case than they thought. So now they gotta look in deeper what's going on. I think at this point they do contact the wife to kind of check in and to let her know that, yeah, her husband passed away, and then there was a good chance he was probably, using drugs again. And she was like, no, absolutely not, because I used to be a drug addict and I know the signs, so I would know if my own husband was back on it again. But it's nothing is said for certain at this moment. So she leaves while Nolan and Chen contemplate what the hell is going on. I want to say that's kind of all as far as we get for this day. I think they just all turn in for the night, and I want to see, yeah, so this is where Harper heads off to dinner, also the same time as Lopez and Bradford are heading off to dinner, and they go all to the same convenient restaurant. Oh yeah, I forgot, Aaron did have some reservations for a dinner with someone, but I guess he broke off those plans and he just gave the reservation to Harper, whose initial pick was, and also another thing I forgot, after they supposedly accidentally let the sniper go away, back on the ground floor, Harper runs into the community guy from season 3. So I'm thankful that they haven't forgot about that group yet, but I'm kind of a little bummed that they were just relegating him to like potential love interest of Harper. I'm really hopeful they do come back on this someday. And it seems like the dynamic's still there. It seems like out of both of them, Harper does want to go out with the community guy. He seems like the more stable one of the, both of them, and she wants to. And when Aaron gives her his reservations for the restaurant, she immediately texts him first, but he doesn't respond. So by the end of the shift, she just asks the other guy, who did respond yes. However, well, first of all, I forgot to say, Nolan and his girlfriend are partnered up on babysitting duty while while Lopez and Wesley decide to have a night on the town. So it's pretty nice, still building up the dynamic between Nolan and his new girlfriend. Also, I'm just reaching for my hot cup of tea before it turns into lukewarm coldness. Oh, that's perfect. I had a bunch of pork today, so I really need this. So they're just enjoying their time babysitting the kids, so they really aren't doing much this night. Lopez is still like reeling in from like, I'm back in the outside world. I'm back to eating outside food. I'm going to eat everything that I want from this menu. And they ordered a ton of food. Harper's in the distance waiting for her date when both of them show up at the exact same time. And yeah, it's busted. It's busted. They both realize they're both there for Lila. Well, Harper in this case, because I keep saying Harper a lot. And they're both equally not happy because for the other dude, the more attractive dude in my opinion, he just feels insulted. He was just second choice. He was not the first choice, and decides to leave the community guy as the winner. But even the community guy's like, I knew like I was like taking the risk of like just going on casual dates with you and not committing ourselves to being in the relationship. But now after this, it's just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing the whole, like, I don't want to be just there. I want to be there. I just don't want to be there. So he leaves off too, with Lopez and Wesley seeing the whole thing and just feeling so bad. And Lopez wants to invite her over to their table so that they can like talk about it and like, comfort her. But Wesley's like, nah, this is our first date night in like forever. Like, you're really going to like try and play therapist with your friend. But however, he might want to have taken that offer over what happened next, because the Brandon's character shows up. Apparently, he's like an owner of this restaurant they're coincidentally at, and he's there to just let him know, like, look, I know about your baby. I can easily hack your monitors. I know how to get him. So just keep that in mind when you're the next time you try to say something at me or do something at me. Just be careful. Just be careful, like, of what I have access to and what I know about you. So Wesley is a bit shocked and taken aback, knowing that his entire family could be in danger if he doesn't play by their rules, sadly. So the next day comes, they get a hit, they get a potential hit on who potentially shot the sniper rifle from the previous day. Of course, ex-military, had a couple of domestic issues, but he's nearby in a cabin somewhere. So Nolan Chen decides to check that out and see what's up. Bradford decides to rotate his gopher for the day, and of course Chen realizes like she thinks, okay, this is it. He realizes his mistake. I'm back. But no, he picks good old Smithy. Oh, I miss Smithy so much. I really did. So he's the new gopher. Immediately he's already establishing, like, I'm not lifting any heavy things, by the way. I'm too old for this shit. So it's already established then and there. And then that Bradford made a complete big mistake just to prove Chen a point. I want to, yeah. So at some point, Harper does tell Aaron about like the results of it, and Aaron does feel a little guilty since I forgot to mention this when Harper realized that the original dude who just forgot to send on his message didn't text her back. He kind of pushes like, just go out with the other guy. Don't worry about it. You don't waste the reservation. You could still have both boy toys. His words, not mine. So he feels really guilty about it. Chen and Nolan show up at the cabin. They find the dude who's a bit suspicious. He's not 100% suspicious, but he's a bit off-put. Let's just say that. Eventually, he does find an excuse to go back in his house to supposedly get a receipt to prove that he was at a gun range far away from the crime scene at the time. And it seemed to be the case until they noticed the rifle in the window. Stupid move, dude. And just having enough probable cause to get in there and realize this dude freaking pulled off a grenade. He literally, well, he didn't open the grenade. He just fired. He just released the pin, and now it's like active and such. So, sad to say, like they're fucked now. So if he lets go, they're done. They're literally done. But Nolan and Chen, like this is just how close they are. It's only been like 2 years for them knowing each other. But the thing to know for them is that they just start saying like, okay, why don't we just try this strategy and try this strategy? Because they know like, yeah, it's a grenade. Like if they make the wrong play here, they're all dead. Like not just him, just both of them. So like they got nothing to lose here. They honestly really don't. So Nolan said, fuck it. I'm just going to do the most basic ass way to try and stop the person. Charging them and hope for the best. They're too slow for the reaction, which thankfully was the case. Chen stuns him and takes him down, and Nolan takes over the grenade. And I'm just like, dude, Nolan better have like very straight fingers right now because I don't know why he is screwed to hell. So the guy's caught, and you assume that's the end of that case, realistically speaking. But not just quite yet, as Wesley gets a visit from Brandon's character, Brandon's mobster, as I'll call him. And he's there like, I respect that you're here, you're punctual, I respect that you're listening. And the only thing I want you to do is that you're going to have to follow that same attitude with your brand new client, which is the same gun shooter. Turns out this gun shooter owes Bradley's mobster a big favor, and the big favor was to kill someone. So now he's there to like kind of get him off it so that he doesn't have to testify against Brandon's mobster at court. So yeah, Wesley has a very uphill battle to climb here. He very much does. Chen goes to visit Bradford about why she wasn't picked to be his gopher, and his answer is just straightforward for once, just saying like, look, we've worked together recently, so people will think I'm playing favoritism with you, or also the fact that they might assume like you're sleeping with me. But just like, no, why would they think that? Like, we're just, we work together well. It would make sense for you to, and I'm also your most recent worker, so like it makes sense that we would still work together in this capacity. And he finally agrees with the kid. She has to start showing up an entire hour early. Yeah, I wouldn't have accepted a deal whatsoever. I wouldn't have. I want to say the last shot we get of the episode, if I'm... No, yeah. So, the end of shift that night, Aaron, calls up the other guy, the community guy, to show up. Originally just the thing like, oh, he's there to like give him the therapist number and just some connection, but no, he's there to play matchmaker again, get these two back together, which it actually does work. Like, there's some hope here, and hopefully now Harper's just aligned herself to this dude. Like, this is the guy. This is my next, thing, and let's see where it goes from there. So that's a positive sign right there on that front. And then the last thing I remember is that Nolan and his girlfriend head back over to Lopez's house, and Lopez did a little bit of digging into this case because she's on maternity leave, she's got really nothing else legally to do, so she looks up some old case files, some similar unsolved cases, and finds a couple of them with very similar, striking resemblance to each other. So they realize this could potentially be a serial killer in the works here, but that's where the episode ends, leaving us with a big cliffhanger of like, well, not really big, more like a medium-sized cliffhanger. Like, there's more to the story than meets the eye, or some corny-ass Transformers reference or something. Yeah, this week's episode of Rookie was pretty good. It was the same old comedy, same old fire of the cylinders, as always. Definitely setting up more stuff for the longer game for Season 4 with Brandon J. McLaren's character, which hopefully he'll come to play for the other officers down the line. I just like Brandon a lot. I haven't seen the finale of Turner and Hooch yet because I have to film the Season 1 review for that, and I want to have that memory fresh in my mind, so I don't entirely know when that will be coming out, but I just know he was great in that show, and it's great to see him here and, continue the good work. He's been popping up in a lot of places lately. Bradford and Chen establishing another, boss worker relationship again is going to be quite interesting, since there is no time limit to this. She could just simply be his gopher for the rest of her life, so who knows what this new dynamic of this relationship will have in store. This will definitely be interesting, per se. The serial killer stuff, I'm hopeful this is going to be this is going to have a bigger payoff. I don't think simply just having like a guy who just crushes people's bones and then burning them alive in a house or a building is probably the best next villain choice you want to make, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind as long as they do it right, so we'll see how that goes in that front. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I can think of right now, so I think that's going to put my vote at the end to be the usual 2 thumbs up. I still really enjoy this week. I'm just loving the Rookies back on the air, and hopefully the stuff they're setting up is going to pay off down the line, hopefully. So we'll see how that all goes. But I think that's going to do it for me tonight, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from Action X, reviewing every episode in the 4th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally on What's the Two, besides our Rookie episode reviews, we are currently doing DC Stargirl Season 2 episode reviews each and every Wednesday mornings after a brand new episode on Tuesday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW. However, this week's review has been punted by a day because tomorrow we are doing our Chucky first impressions for the new sci-fi show that's premiering tomorrow. Well, it's premiering tomorrow night for me. It would have premiered yesterday if you're watching tomorrow's episode. This whole time releasing schedule is confusing for me in terms of saying that. It's exciting. It's great. We're pushing a lot of effort into that one, and I can't wait to see how the show's going to be. I'm also going to be double loading myself that week because I'm pretty sure my plan is I'm just going to record both of them so I don't fall off track with Doom Patrol and Nancy Drew, which are also our other 2 review series, because we're also doing Doom Patrol Season 3 episode reviews each and every Friday mornings after a brand new episode on Thursday on HBO Max. And we're also doing Nancy Drew Season 3 episode reviews each and every Saturday mornings after a brand new episode on Friday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW app. And also, we were doing Heels episode reviews each and every Tuesday mornings after Brandon on Sunday nights on Stars. However, Heels has just wrapped up its 1st season, so next week we will have a Season 1 review at some point early on. I'm still... I won't say anything more, but we got a Season 1 review coming out next week, and then the week after that, to wrap up our Heels coverage for the year, we will be doing a Season 2 predictions video about the subject. But again, if you don't care about The Rookie, you are... No, I think we are off next week. Are we off next week? Are we off? I think we are off. Yeah. I have to double check. I know I wrote in my schedule that there was going to be a delay. I don't think it was next week. I don't think. Do we have... The schedule's weird. The schedule was weird. I think we're still on this week. It literally just... Oh, no. I'm good. I just realized something oh, yeah, I forgot the promo fucking images behind me. And, I'll just read there. Yeah, next Sunday. We'll be back next week, Sunday. We'll be back next week for another episode review. So stay tuned for us there. But, again, this has been What's the Two from Action X. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionXvideos. Like, favorite, share this review if you want to, but it helps us get it out there to other members of the Rookie Nation who has yet to discover us. Helps us beat up that YouTube algorithm that hates me ever so much in life, and as well as sharing us for free here on the interwebs. And please, also, Follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates for the channel. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live for the Rookie, which is always each and every Monday mornings. And yeah, so for all you members of the Rookie Nation, let me know in the comments below what did you think of this week's episode of The Rookie. I'm always down for conversation down below. And then yeah, but as always, stay safe out there, be good to each other. I'll see y'all next week, and until then, peace out.